everybody? This is your girls, Karina.
And Crystal.
A.K.A.
Millen Twins. See, this is our take 2, because she said I'm pitchy. You know, y'all know the jingle. Y'all just sing it with us.
Yes, let's start over. What's up, everybody? This is your girls, Karina.
And Crystal.
A.K.A.
Millen Twins.
And welcome to the second season of xXposure.
Yeah.
We have an amazing guest today. But before we jump into that, we pray that you all are having an amazing day. And we also pray that you all had an amazing week and hope that you were able to accomplish some of your goals. But if not, don't worry about it. Keep going, keep pushing. And remember, only you can stop you. So what's going on, Chrissy? Chris?
I am excited. We are on season 2 of Double. No, we're not double. Matter of fact, let me say this.
Say it.
So our Instagram page is double_exposure. But the magazine is not called Double Exposure because, you see, y'all keep calling it Double Exposure. Now I'm calling it Double Exposure. It's just Exposure because the name Exposure by itself was taken. So let me go back. We're on season 2 of Exposure, and we have some phenomenal guests. I mean, we're doing amazing. Our team is awesome. We have our PR Felicia, our producer Lavelle Person, our co-producer Amanda Jones, our manager, our booking manager Lisa Stewart. We could not have done the first season or season 2 without our team. It's not an iron team. So we love you guys and we appreciate you guys because our viewers, I mean, they love watching the show because we are bringing some phenomenal people to the show.
We are. So who do we have on today, girl?
Let me get this because we got a whole book on this lady
on,
right
she
here.
has
So
a resume.
I have to read it, and yes, I'm going to read it. We have an internationally recognized urban girls advocate. We have a media literacy expert and a speaker. And guess what? She's the founder of Girls Like Me Project. We have Lakeisha Sewell in the studio. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good with y'all. I'm so glad to be here, and it's just good energy. So exposure is already just a light already. So thank you.
Say it again. Say that to that camera right there.
Exposure is already a light in my life. Just by being in the studio with them, it's really, you can really feel it, seriously. So I'm grateful.
That is sweet. That is sweet.
We are so excited that you are here with us. You are doing some amazing. That's like our word of the year. Like that's all we say is amazing. But you are really doing some amazing things out here. So say we walking in the grocery store, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody like, oh, that's Lakeisha.
They got that popcorn by Lakeisha.
You see Lakeisha over there?
Yeah.
What are they saying about Lakeisha?
In the grocery store?
Just period.
Because I was going to say the grocery store is a whole different Lakeisha.
What do they say about Lakeisha Grace?
Lakeisha, what you cooking over there?
Yeah, like what you getting? So they would definitely say authentic. They would definitely say passionate about my community and unapologetic about women's issues, especially black women and black girls. Love black people. Yeah. And I would hope to say that I am like a radiant light, like that I shine for other people to shine as well. That's what I hope people say, but you know, you never know what they saying about you when you ain't there. But hopefully that's what I believe most people would say.
So tell the viewers, our viewers, about your organization that you have.
Absolutely. So the name of my organization is Girls Like Me Project. I started it officially in 2012, and it is to help black girls 11 to 18 years old, to help them look at the ways of social, cultural, and political ideologies that are in the media, and also to help them to push back against negative stereotypes and stigmas that are directed and targeted towards them. You know the stereotypes that say ghetto, that says angry, violent, hypersexed, low ambition, right? And so the media then, those stereotypes then are internalized. So they start to believe that about themselves and they go out in the world acting upon that belief. But then also policymakers then start to make policies that impact them based on that. So that's why you have the school to prison pipeline. That's why you have more black girls disproportionately expelled from schools, right? That's why you have the fact that Markia Bryant was shot dead like a dog by the police officers, right? That's why we see girls pulled by their hair by police officers, and just the ways that society treats them. And then it's okay because this is part of the policy, right? And so that's why I started my organization. We work with girls directly to help them reclaim the narrative. So using digital media tools to do that, they can create their own YouTube channels, like what you all are doing, right? To tell their own version of what they see in the community. And even if it's not, even if it's fiction based, right? They just want to do it creatively, or a podcast or photography. We give them those tools to train them to be storytellers. And most importantly, we give them tools to heal, because for a lot of us, as grown women, many over 30, 40, and 50, and 60, right, have never had that conversation, never had that training, never had that time to really heal the things that have gone on that have just been normalized. And so we work with them to heal that, to reject it, right? And then in doing so, they can formulate and cultivate a sisterhood where they're accountable for other black women, black girls, and where they're responsible for other women and black girls.
And that was definitely key of what you said, providing those strategies for healing, because I think that's where it needs to start from, because a lot of people don't know that a lot of young women go through a lot of things, and it's starts within the home. But, being that the social media has so much of an influence on people, they don't want to shed that light or show like I'm going through, I'm being beat by my parents or by my boyfriend or whatever the case may be. But that healing has to start within, and being that you all provide that opportunity to help them heal is a great tool, because when they're not healed, then that's when they go to social media and they try to be like the next woman or the next person. Oh, she got 10 million, I need to be just like her, or I need to show my body so I can get these likes and get validation from. So I love the fact that you all provide that healing process for them.
You know what? Absolutely. This is about to be a good conversation.
It is, because
because it's about to keep going, and I got my next question. My sister talking too much because she know I'm ready to ask my questions. But we're gonna take a real quick break. You guys stay tuned with xXposure. All right, we are back with xXposure. I thought my sister was gonna jump in. She usually gets.
No, she talks over me, so I'm letting her talk today.
But we are back with Lakeisha. We're having great conversation.
We are
good.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Preach, you good?
I'm amazing.
Okay.
I'm hot, but I am doing good. As you see, this wool dress. Pray for me.
Okay. It's okay. We got the arrow.
We do.
Anyway, it ain't about you right now. So we are talking about your organization's Girls Like Me. And one of the questions that I have for you are, what are some of the challenges that you have with the children or the girls, young ladies, opening up when having a conversation, or maybe through workshops or anything that you guys are doing to engage them? Or do you have challenges with them opening up in conversation?
Well, we don't have challenges once they're in a program, but definitely prior to that, the reason that schools refer them, that parents refer some girls, is because they are having challenges trusting each other, right? Trusting that what they share when they are vulnerable, that they won't be judged or made fun of. A lot of girls have experienced a lot of hurt at the hands of adults, especially adults who are not culturally responsive or responsible with their black girlhood. And so there's always that level of trust coming in the door. But the way that we handle that is, first off the bat, as I told you all, while our focus is media, the focus is about healing first. That's the very first thing we do. So we're training our girls in rites of passage. We're training them in values, right? We're training them in ways to be together. We're training them in mindfulness. So they're learning how to meditate. They're learning affirmations. They're learning how to breathe. So they're learning those things before they even start these other deeper conversations that we have. And what happens is it's just organic that they start opening up, because you've now created this bond. You've created this safe space that they can feel like they can share with one another. And when I share with you, I know my sister is not going to make fun of me or bully me. I know she's going to protect me, right? She's going to help me find resolution and just allow me to be who I am. So that's how we handle that.
Definitely. And I know that.
Go ahead, Chris.
It's okay. I got the real good question. Go ahead. So I know that you start at 11. I don't want to forget my question. I really want to know this, because being early childhood educators, I know that you start at the age 11. Do you ever think that you will start younger? And the reason I ask that is because I deal with the ages from 2 to 5-year-olds, and I see that early on.
Yeah.
How if I have baby dolls of different color skin, and they won't go for our brown skin, they always go for that. And not saying that they already know race. Not saying that, but or I have a young girl who's one race and another, and I want hair like you.
Yeah.
And it's like, but what's wrong with your curly hair? So do you ever feel that you would go to a younger age? Maybe not as young as 2 or 5, but just wondering.
Absolutely. So we started out at 13.
Okay.
And it was because I did notice that. Now let me go back. Our very first, this is when I was volunteering. This was before there was a Girls Like Me. It was just Lakeisha going into schools. It started at my son's school, and he was in 4th grade at the time. And the classmates of his were exhibiting this horrible bad girl behavior. Like they were just doing this whole mean girl thing. And this was at the height of when reality TV had just started. So Bad Girls, My Teenage Pregnancy, all of the negative, right?
Right.
And you got 10-year-olds talking about who gonna check me, boo, because they've seen this on, right?
Right.
So it started with them at 10, and that was just informal. And so when we started going into schools, because the schools that we were in were middle school, which is why it started at 13. And then too, just my temperament and what I have patience for.
Exactly.
Right?
I understand. I understand.
But I did notice other schools asking me, and I noticed that by the time I got them at 12 and 13, it was already deeply ingrained. And so we had a lot of backtracking to do. So we went earlier. We went to 11. And even though we officially do 11, we started, one of our schools is Donahue, and they only go up to 5th grade. So we work with their girls so they could be 9 or 10 at that age. And as our team grows, then we absolutely will do earlier, because as you all said, you can see in kindergarten, 5-year-olds, you can see 5-year-olds, just this whole notion of can't share, right? Also, like you said, not believing that they are beautiful and pretty. And that's because they're hearing these messages at home and other places. And so one of the things we're starting to work on is not just girls, but mothers and daughters, their relationships. Because you can't raise black girl magic if you yourself are not healed, if you still have wounds.
Right.
So you have a mother or father who wants to put their child in your organization. How would they go about doing that?
So they would go on our website and sign up, or sometimes we meet people out at our events and then they sign up there. Before COVID, we were mostly doing in school, and then we would have summer camp, which was open for everybody. But now, because of COVID, it's the gift and a curse in COVID, we were able to open up to the entire family. We did a lot of virtual programming that was family friendly. And we also were able to do programs that were virtual, so anybody. We had girls in Texas and Florida who were a part of it. So no matter where they are, now we're able to take those girls on if they can, without them being at a partner school.
Okay. So do you have anything coming up with the organization?
Yes,
Can
we
you let us
do.
know about that?
Yes. So our biggest event that we do, our most impactful work we do, is Day of the Girl. So the United Nations in 2012 officially named October 11th as the International Day of the Girl Child. And that day is really to help amplify the issues that impact girls all around the globe. So sex trafficking, access to education, access to clean water, clean food, child marriage, gender violence, all these different things, right? And so as I was watching these documentaries and reading up about it, I noticed that all of the things they talked about were similar to things that black girls in Chicago were experiencing. So you say, what do you mean? Well, at that time, 54 schools were closing in this city. 54 schools where black girls would be locked out of education and have to change and go out of their neighborhood to other neighborhoods. The influx of selective enrollment and that whole battle. Like, getting a good quality education in this city is still based upon your parents' ability to and access to resources, right? And so that's an issue. That's
Definitely.
not like that. That should not be like everybody should have the same. We talk about lead and clean water. Well, we're not a third world country, but we have lead in our waters, and there were schools that were found to have lead in their water. Our girls are in those schools drinking that water, right? And it hasn't even come out what it is in the residential areas. But again, still the same. Clean air. We have to battle that. And we have asthma and other issues as we have all these local mills and factories and iron places that if you follow the news, have been shut down in this city for what they're doing. Sex trafficking. Chicago is a major hub for sex trafficking. So our girls in America, the beautiful, are experiencing the same things as girls in third world countries are. And so while they are magical and beautiful and radiant and excellent, we can't continue to hide that underneath the other issues. So we need to celebrate them, but we also need to advocate for them, and we also need to train them to advocate for themselves. And so we started Chicago Day of the Girl. I will claim this. I don't know any other organization that has focused on that day for our girls specifically on the south or west side of Chicago. And so this year we will celebrate our 10th year, and we are doing it big. I'm so excited.
I'm excited about that. We would love to volunteer, support in
Yes.
any kind of way.
We would love to have you.
We believe in supporting our girls and
We
raise
would
them
love
down.
to have you.
You know, because
Exactly.
the world is different.
It is so different.
I mean, we used to have to come in the house before the street lights came on. We went in the house and played video games, and you know, it was just different. The world was fun, but we definitely would love to support and volunteer in any way, in any aspect that we can.
Oh, don't worry. You
Definitely.
just be careful what you ask for, because we will be
Our
calling.
word is our word. Our word is our word. But we're
We're
going to
ready.
take a break. We got more with Lakeisha because she also is the author of Move Beyond the Block. So when we come back, we're going to hear more about that story. Stay tuned.
All right, exposure. You was ready to talk. Look, that's what I deal with.
You about to talk.
But we are back with Lakeisha, and we're getting ready to jump into this. If you didn't know, she's also an author. Let me tell you, this resume that she has, I ain't mad at her. That's what I'm talking about. But let's talk about this book that you have that is called Move Beyond the Block. Tell us about this book.
So Move Beyond the Block, I will just first say what it started as.
Okay.
It started out as this memoir that was going to like expose everybody who had done me wrong in my childhood.
Woo, I'm still thinking about writing a book, but expose people now. Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
5 minutes.
Okay, Lakeisha, go ahead.
So it was going to be to expose people and all the wrongdoing that had happened to me as a child, the things that I thought that had put me on the trajectory that I was, right? That kept me in the poverty mindset or victimhood mindset. But somewhere along the way, I'm a believer in God and the Most High, sorry. And somewhere along the way, my spirit was led for healing. I'm still not fully there. I'm on a journey. But it led me to the biggest thing was forgiveness. And healing that little girl who was still like hurt over the things that were said and done to her. And I realized that I had to move beyond that in order to get where I really want to be and what I really want to do. And so I called them blocks, right? This mental block. And then also for me, Chicago is very block oriented. Like where you grew up is huge, right?
Exactly.
What block did you grow up on?
Yeah.
Where you live at, right? And so if we want to be of this world, like globally impactful, then we can acknowledge the blocks that we are from, but we cannot hold to that as our only identity. Yeah. And so that was where the book came from. It's called Move Beyond the Block, to moving beyond the habits and beliefs that are blocking our shine in life. Wow. And so what I focus on 18 beliefs and habits that we need to move beyond, and I give affirmations for those. And I also feature 18 women from Chicago who came from the same blocks as us, whether they are the same physical blocks. Yeah. So they're from the same physical blocks, the same schools we've attended, and also the same challenges. And they've done marvelous and just globally impactful things. And so the book was published and released in 2018. I'm on my 3rd press run right now. Okay. So it sells out every time I do a press run. It's just been a blessing. I have not done as much with it as I initially wanted to do with it. but I still am always just humbled when people are still buying and still a part of the movement, the MBTV movement, and we got merchandise, do workshops, so it's been really good.
That's amazing.
So where can people find your book?
Yeah, so movebeyondtheblock.com is my website. You go there, you can find all the information about the book, about my coaching services and consultation services, and also any merchandise, anything. Yeah, it's all on movebeyondtheblock.com.
Can they? Do you have to have tickets for your event that's coming up?
So it's two parts. I gotta say. So the day party for the girls is completely free. We always everything we do is free for girls. We don't charge them, so they just have to register. So they do have to register on our website, girlslikemeproject.org. They register that day, but the night event, which I ain't mentioned to y'all, but that's like for women only. It's grown folks time. So we'll do the honorees for that. One of the honorees is Star Cunningham. She is the CEO and founder of 4D Health Wear, and this woman is amazing. Everybody should know who she is. Her company has created this digital technology for health care. And she's her investors, her backers, everything is like she's a big deal. Elisa Starks with Inner City Entertainment, Ice Theaters, who's about to also open the Entertainment Center duplex on 71st and Jeffrey. She's an honoree.
Making moves.
Yes, Dr. Venus Evans Winters, who is a huge researcher. She's an honoree, and DJ Sundance, who is the only female DJ on the radio to this day. She will also be an honoree. And then we got Just Niche, who will be the comedian for the night.
She's
so
hilarious.
She's hilarious. Kind of like you. You're funny too.
Come on, I just need to check.
Well, we're going to end because she said that. So we appreciate you being on Exposure.
It's been my pleasure.
You guys, make sure you follow her. Make sure you support her. Make sure the platform is amazing. It's about us girls. And
each other.
if we don't support each other, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
So we thank you. We bless you. We speak nothing but greatness to you, favor, and everything that, over your imagination, over your desires. We speak nothing but greatness and favor over your life. If I keep going, what we're going to do is we're going to end this show.
We're going to turn your Bible.
So you guys, make sure you stay tuned. We